How do you run a concession stand successfully? And what equipment is needed for a concession business? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into just that here on Marketing Food Online 2 right now.
So if you're looking to start a food business with ridiculously high margins and a minimal startup cost, then concession food business is the business for you. So we're going to walk you through everything you need to know to get started here in this video. But before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button for Marketing Food Online and check out the bell notification to be notified of every new video here on Marketing Food Online. All right, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. My name is Damian Roberti, founder and CEO of Marketing Food Online, and we are diving into the world of concession businesses and how to start a successful concession business. Food entrepreneurs looking to try their hand in the food service industry will find that concession businesses, which have a lower startup cost expenses than normal restaurants and even food trucks combined, are an excellent option for them to consider. They're also a good business strategy for proprietors who focus on serving single specialized food items on their menu. Although the location of your concession stand will be the most important factor in determining the long-term success, you will still need a distinct menu and the appropriate equipment and a detailed business strategy in order to operate, open, and successfully grow a concession business. Obtaining all necessary supplies for a concession stand include the following. So, what does it mean to operate a concession stand? A concession stand, often known as a snack bar, is located inside of an event where attendees can purchase a variety of foods, beverages, and snacks. They're actually not uncommon inside places like movie theaters, amusement parks, and even sporting arenas. Some establishments own and manage their own concession stands, while others have concession stands that are managed by a third party under a certain contract. Concession stands typically stock items such as popcorns, pretzels, hot dogs, among some of the things that they offer. Number one, how much does it cost to rent a concession stand? So, the cost of acquiring a concession stand varies depending on the size of the unit as well as whether the stand is being built from the ground up or used carts which are being purchased and renovated. The construction of a brand new concession stand with an average size will run anywhere from about $5,000 to even $10,000. Your initial financial investment will go up because of a fresh stand won't have any equipment in it, so you would need to have to add equipment for the concession business depending on the type of food you're actually going to serve. So now, between $6,000 to $20,000 is the price range for purchasing a used concession stand that already has equipment built in. The pricing range for used concession stands is so broad though, because it encompasses both dated and sometimes uncomplicated stands, as well as the stands that have limited use but are nonetheless stocked with high quality appliances despite having a few used ones. How to get your first concession stand up and running. We will guide you through the process of launching a concession stand business, beginning with the creation of a sound business plan and ending with the promotion of your food stand. So let's dive into the steps. Step one, create a concession stand concept. Your menu and the concept you have in mind for your concession stand will tell you what kind of cart you need, how much money you will need to get started, and of course, where you should put the cart. On the menu of the concession stand, you might find anything from pre-made snacks to imaginative gourmet meals and everything in between. A simple prepared food station has different requirements than a concession stand that specializes in selling freshly made gourmet waffles, as an example, or prepared food. Step two, concession stand business plan. Now, any food business has to have a good business plan to launch. You will need to prepare a business plan once you have a broad idea of what kind of concession stand you want to run once you have the idea. Your business plan will serve as a blueprint for the growth trajectory of your concession stand business. It will also assist you in making the appropriate investments so that you do not waste either your time or your money when you launch your concession business. Now, keep in mind, a strong business plan is also what you'll need in order to secure financing from outside sources for your new business venture. Provide you and your investors with a well-defined view, the financial position, the concept, and of course your target audience of your concession stand, as well as the structure of your business. So I'm going to provide you a detailed information on how to build a business plan that takes you by the hand and explains each stage of the process as you go along. All right, so let's dive into your business plan. So step 3, you want to fund your concession business. You might even be able to finance the start of the modest concession stand on your own, but a larger concession stand needing more investment with more extensive food selections might need outside funding from a bank or a personal loan or even credit cards. Now, I've compiled a list of possible sources for your funding for you. So check these out. You can use that business plan to make a presentation to potential investors on the concept of your food concession stand. There are small company loans, small business loans, and even small equipment loans, leasing alternatives even, or even traditional bank loans available for businesses such as a concession business. Now, something unique. Now, the term crowdfunding refers to a method that actually enables many individuals to contribute varying amounts of money to your actual business as a quote-unquote investment from them. In most cases, it takes place on platforms similar to like GoFundMe, where you can actually establish financing goals for your concession stand. You can attract those outside investors and keep them up to date on the progress of your funding. Step 4, set up a food and beverage stand. Now, let's dive into setting this stand up. So if you already have a business strategy and the necessary funds, then you will be able to buy a concession stand that is suitable for both the scale and the budget that you're working with. You will need to decide if you want a trailer concession stand, a short-range concession stand, or a stationary, which is a permanent concession stand. Now, because of this, the type of stand that you buy, the location of the stand, and even the regulations that apply to it will be impacted big time. Now, if you have a nice location where you can readily set up shop, maybe like a stadium, then an affordable permanent concession stand is excellent for you because it's going to be there permanently. You will, however, want a cart with a short range in order to sell at several different street corners spread out over a few different blocks if you're looking for a mobile food business. You may purchase a concession trailer or even consider whether a food truck would be more beneficial for your business if you want to be more mobile, cover a lot more ground. All right, now what are the 3 different kinds of food concession stands? So there are 3 distinct varieties of concession stands, including mobile concession stands, you've got concession trailers, and then fixed specific location concession stands. Now keep in mind that every business concept for a concession food business benefits from the spending habits of their audience and they are trying to attract. Concession stalls that are permanently installed typically conduct their business in bursts of high volume activity and then some lower days. Now, carts with a limited range see sales that are both more gradual but more consistent. Concession trailers that are more mobile can serve both one-time customers and a regular stream of repeat clients at specific events in the community. Now, however, despite having the benefits of both a stationary food concession stand and carts with a limited range, the trailer variant is more expensive both to purchase, operate, and maintain. All right, so let me explain a little bit about stationary concession stands. Now, these are stands that are stationary, are often quite tiny, permanently located, and do not offer a lot of space for storage and other types of necessary equipment or even ingredients. Now, in most cases, they provide only one cooked meal item or like a pre-made snack that's ready for sale. Now, mobile concession stands, oftentimes mobile concession stands have a home location where the sellers cook their food before putting it into the cart, which is often then in a holding unit. Now, these types of stands are designed for short range use and are portable. Now, something that's unique is different is a concession trailer. Now, they provide mobility across a wide area. It can be powered by either gas or generators and even feature room that can be converted into a compact kitchen complete with countertop warming equipment and even under-counter storage, which makes it even better. You need to obtain all of the required licenses and permits. So let's dive a little bit into the permits and licensing. So in order to run a concession stand legally, just like any other kind of business, you need to have the appropriate licenses and permitting. I'm going to give you some of the more popular licenses and permits, but you should check with local authorities to ensure that you're following their requirements before you actually use them. All right, now step 5. Now the certification of your food manager. So this is something that's unique. A certification of competency in food handling along with your food vendor's license is something that you and maybe even your employee is going to need. Now, also an employer identification number, an EIN as they are known, it's actually associated with the sales and use tax permit. Now, if you own a mobile concession stand, you should inquire with the department that handles driver's licenses in your area to determine whether you are required to have a business license for that concession stand. All right, now step 6, you have to get the right concession equipment and storage for your ingredients and your food. Now, what's really important is your menu dictates what concession equipment you require. If you want to keep everything operational throughout the day, the best way to provide electricity to the equipment is to utilize either a generator or a canister of propane. It's also essential to keep in mind that certain pieces of machinery, particularly those that are driven by gas, need specialized attachments such as a gas connection, hoses, or anything else that would need to make it operate safely. Now, we think making use of appliances that are either under the counter or half the height to avoid excessive crowding and heating is something more beneficial when you have these types of concession businesses. Now, some concession stands have their food prepared at a commissary kitchen off-site, and they bring a few warmers with them on their mobile units and their mobile carts. Now, however, there is a possibility that we'll run out of food quickly, so you want to make sure, which would damage both your reputation, of course, your ability to keep your customers happy and lower your sales. You can overcome this obstacle, though, by recruiting more people to assist with the restocking and, of course, the transportation of your food items. Okay, so big question, what concession stand equipment will be needed? The ideal list of concession equipment contains a balance of instruments for preserving already cooked food at temperatures that are safe for people to consume, and appliances for processing raw foods as well. Now, when you're making your list, evaluate the available space and make sure that you're not going to exceed its capacity. A secure working environment for employees who are confined in kind of a cramped and stuffy place can be maintained by providing a little bit of extra room. You will find a list of necessary pieces of equipment on the menu. Nevertheless, the following are some of the more popular ones that you may need. Now, you may also need ventless fryers. Concession stands that actually have limited space might actually benefit greatly from ventless fryers. Don't forget to set up some room for emergency oil supplies as well. Now, food items that are simple to prepare, inexpensive, and profitable to sell at concession stands include things such as popcorn. Your concession stand can accommodate either a cotton candy machine that sits on the countertop or a cotton candy cart, depending on what best suits your needs and what types of other foods you wish to sell. Step 7, select the supplies necessary for the concession stand. Now, the tools and supplies for the kitchen, as well as the tableware, will be determined by the equipment that you select. Some of the things that you potentially need are like tongs and turners are excellent tools that may be used for a variety of purposes, but certain appliances may call for fryer baskets, ladles, or even cutlery in addition to those pieces of equipment. Now, to properly serve your guests, you will furthermore require basic disposable items such as cups, trays, and of course bowls and any types of napkins, known as smallwares. Although the specific supplies may differ from stand to stand, practically all concession stands will require some of the following items. Number 8, recruit individuals to work at the concession stand. All right, so after launching and putting up your concession stand and obtaining the required permits, the next step is to look for employees to help work behind the counter. Now, this will be determined upon the projected level of business and the variety of items on your menu. That's going to help you determine the number of staff members that you may need on your concession business. Now, give an example. For instance, a concession stand that serves a relatively small number of people and has a restricted menu may not require a significant number of personnel to actually function and be profitable. Whereas if you have a stand that is serving a relatively high number of people and have a variety of food operations, now how much do people who work at concession stands actually get paid? Some of these numbers are going to be averages, but it's going to be a good idea to let you know how many. A worker at a concession stand, also known as a concession attendant, normally earns a yearly salary that falls between about $15,000 to $35,000 as a part-time employee. Now, this varies depending on several things, obviously, one of which being the frequency in which they work, as well as the location of the stand and how much business it does. Now, something to be aware of, it's essential to be aware of actually, that most workers at concession stands are paid on an hourly basis and that their salary can range anywhere from the minimum wage up to about $15 per hour. Number 9, promote the location of your snack stand. Now keep in mind, you can begin marketing your concession business even before it has officially opened, thanks to, of course, social media. While you perfect your recipes, post photos and dishes that will be on the menu at your concession business and where you're located. You also may communicate with your target audience and learn more about the taste that would convince them to become consumers by using polls on Instagram. All right, so check out these videos here for more info on how to start your food business. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if this video was super helpful, definitely give us a super thanks. That is the button down below the video with that little $sign if you want to make a donation and a thank you. We definitely appreciate it.